So guys, for us to draft our collar, we are going to measure our neckline of the shirt. After you measure it, divide whatever you have into two. So yeah, my pattern paper unfold, from the top of my pattern paper I'm coming down by 1.5 inches for my collar stand. Then whatever you had after dividing, you're going to go ahead and mark it out. Mine was 8.75. I went ahead to rule it out. So this basically is our collar stand, the first part. So from that line that you just marked, now come down by 2.5 inches. This is the width of our collar. Okay, you can decide to use whatever number you want, but I'm using 2.5 inches for my collar. You can do 2 inches, which is fine. So from that collar stand at the top, come in by 1 inch, just exactly where you're seeing me do, and slant it back into the collar. Okay, so you can see. So yeah, we need to slant our collar. So from that sharp point, just come up by ½ inch, or you can just use your free hand and just slant the collar stand just like the way you've seen me do. So this is basically all for the drafting. So the upper part is the collar stand, while the bigger part is the collar itself. Okay, so I'm going ahead to cut out the collar stand first of all, so you can see how it's looking. Now I'm going ahead to cut out the collar as well. Now after cutting it out, you have it looking like this. So go ahead now to cut out on our fabric. Add ½ inch stitching allowance to all sides, but we are cutting two. Okay, I have two collar stand and two collar itself. So the ½ inch stitching allowance that you added, so the first thing I'm going to pin from the top part. If you look at the collar, you will have one side wider than the bottom part. So the part that is wider is the upper part. I'm going ahead to stitch ½ inch from the two sides. All the areas you're seeing me pin is areas I'm going to stitch on my sewing machine. So yeah, I've gone ahead to stitch it now. It's time to trim off all the rough edges on our collar. So do not forget you're stitching on the bigger parts of the collar. So when you stitch it, so at this point, give it a proper ironing before you turn it over. Yeah, so when you turn it over like this, you have it looking like this. Please, proper ironing, and before you go ahead to do what you have to do. So at this point, I'm going to notch the midpoint of my collar. So for the collar stand, you place them left sides facing each other. Look for the midpoint as well, and just place it exactly the way you're seeing me do. So you make sure you place midpoint to midpoint. Put one collar stand on top the other side, and just right sides facing each other, go ahead to pin them on top of each other with ½ inch stitching allowance, sorry, that you added. So just go ahead and just pin it all the way down, but make sure you're pinning on the curved edges. Okay, make sure you're pinning on the curved part, because the collar stand, one side is curved, the other side is straight. So make sure you're placing it right. So yeah, this is how it looks. I'm gonna head to secure it with my pin, and right now to go over to my sewing machine to just sew on it. Yeah, it's time to cut out all rough edges as usual. So after doing this, you have it looking like this. When you turn it over, you now see that you are beginning to have the shape of the collar. Okay, so yeah, I've gone ahead to iron it properly. This is how it looks. When you turn it over, you see that it has this collar shape already. Yeah, so right now we are going to get the midpoint of our collar and bring in our shirt, so we can just attach the collar to our shirt. So at this point, we are trying to look for the midpoint of our shirt as well, just so that every part is going to be aligned properly by the time you attach your collar. So we are going to open it up. So determine the area you want to use for the back or the front of the collar. So now you see that when you open up your collar, you have the back and the front. So you're going to pin down the back first, using half-inch allowance that you gave when you were drafting your pattern. Okay, so you see what I'm doing. Use your pins to just secure the half-inch stitching allowance. Just hold your collar to the shirt or the collar stand, just pin it down. So please do not forget you're stitching the back first. So after you do this, you will just go over to the sewing machine and just sew on those areas you've pinned. After doing that, this is how it looks. So the next thing now, you are going to turn the other side over and just use half-inch stitching allowance to just stitch. So this is going to make it look very neat by the time you're done. So remember, half-inch when you're sewing. So just go ahead to secure it down with your pins first and just top stitch. It's almost like you're making a top stitch, but you're just going to stitch on the top of the pinned areas, as in the, you know, just look exactly how I'm doing mine and just go ahead and just do yours. So yeah, we're almost done with our attaching our collar. So I'm going over to sew it, and after sewing, this is how it looks. I've gone ahead to iron it, and this is how the collar looks. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to the channel already. So yeah, this is our shirt looking pretty on the mannequin. So I'll see you in my next video.